In some of my previous videos, I told you that CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, is used to make our web pages beautiful. We use CSS to add colors, styles, transitions, animations to our web page elements. So now let's understand how we can work with CSS in this video. So at first I'm gonna create a heading with the h2 tag. The heading is, let's say, Thor. Then let's say we have a paragraph with 20 dummy words. Save the file. You can see the heading and the paragraph got displayed on our web page. So there are three types of CSS that we have. Those are inline CSS, then we have internal CSS, then we have embedded CSS. So let's understand how we write inline CSS first. So in this h2 tag, I'm gonna write an attribute which is style. So we can add CSS to this style attribute. We can write CSS properties and the respective values here in the double quotation. So let's say I'm gonna give the color to this heading text, and this color is a CSS property which will have a value. So after this property we have to give a colon, then we can give a value. In this case the value would be color name or hex code. So let me write a color name which will be aqua. Then after giving a value we have to close this with the semicolon sign. If you save the file, you can see the Thor text is in aqua color. We can write another CSS property here. After the semicolon, I'm gonna write the CSS property which is background color, and that would be, let's say, brown. If I save the file, you can see the heading has the background color brown. So this is called inline CSS, which we add to a tag with the help of style attribute. We write the style attribute, and as a value we give some CSS properties and respective values for those properties. So as mentioned before, we have another kind of CSS available, and that is internal CSS. To write internal CSS, we have a tag named style tag. That style tag we have to write in the head section. So after the title tag, I'm gonna write the style tag. So style, and it is a paired tag. So it has an opening style tag and a closing style tag. And in between these two tags, I'm gonna write the CSS codes. So let's say I want to apply some styles to this heading. So I'm gonna select this heading. So I'll write h2. Then I will write the opening and closing curly braces. And inside these two curly braces, I can write CSS properties and their respective values. So let's say I want a padding around the heading. So I am gonna write the colon, and let's say I want a padding of 10 pixel. Then I will write the semicolon sign. Now if I save the file, you can see that the Thor text has 10 pixel of padding to the left, 10 pixel of padding above itself, and 10 pixel of padding below itself. We can write another CSS property. Let's say font size colon. Be careful, it is font hyphen size. Then write colon, and let's say I want the font size to be 30 pixel. Save the file. You can see the Thor text got bigger. Let me make this 50 pixel so you can see properly. You can see the Thor text is more bigger now. Let me apply some inline style to this paragraph as well. So I'm gonna write the style, and let's say it will have a background color which is, let's say, cattle blue, and it will have a padding 8 pixel. Save the file. You can see the paragraph has background color of cattle blue and it has padding of 8 pixel. We can select the paragraph tag and apply some internal styles as well. So I'm gonna write the P here, and in the opening and closing curly braces I will write some more CSS properties. So let's say I want a text color. So I'm gonna write the color property here, and the color would be, let's say, this barley wood. Save the file. You can see the text color is now barley wood. We can set the font size here. So font hyphen size, then we can give value in pixels or these pre-formatted values. Let me give here large. Save the file. You can see the text got bigger. So this is how we can work with inline CSS with the style attribute, and this is how we can work with internal CSS with the style tag. So the style tag would be in the head portion of our file, and in between the opening and closing style tag we write CSS properties and their respective values. So let's understand another kind of CSS, and that is embedded CSS. So for that we have to create a CSS file in our folder. So let me go to the file menu and create a file with the name style.css. Hit enter. The file got created. Let me close the file menu, and we have to add the path of the style.css to our page to embed the CSS code. For that, before this style tag, I'm gonna write the link tag. So link, it is an unpaired tag, so it will have the opening and closing tag in a single tag. Then we have an attribute which is a rel, means relation, and here we write style sheet. Then we have another attribute which is href, and here we give a path of a CSS file. In our case it is // then style.css. Save the file. Now our CSS and HTML file are connected. The CSS file is embedded in our HTML code. So now we can design our page from outside. So let me go to the style.css file, and here let's say I'm gonna target the heading 2 tag. Let me give the opening and closing curly braces, and we have a CSS property called text align. So I'm gonna write text align and give the value center, and if I save the file you can see the Thor text moved to the center of the page, and we can target the paragraph as well. And let me write a CSS property which is border width, and that will be 1 pixel. Let me save the file. So we can see the border. Let me give a color to the border so we can see that. So the CSS property is border color, and we give a value here which is aqua. Save the file. Still we can see the border, so let me write the border style attribute, border style, and that would be solid. If I save the file you can see we have a border around the paragraph text. Let me increase the border width. Let's say it is 5 pixel. Save the file. You can see the border is 5 pixel, and let me change this color to brown. Save the file. You can see it has a brown 5 pixel border. We can mix these 3 CSS properties in a single property which is simply border, and here we can write 5 pixel solid black. Save the file. You can see we have black border of 5 pixel around the paragraph text. So this is the border width, this is the border style, and this is the border color. We can give these 3 values to the border property. So I hope you understand the 3 kinds of CSS we have. We have inline CSS that we can write with the style attribute. Then we have internal CSS that we can write with the style tag in the head portion. Then we have embedded CSS or external CSS which we can link with the help of link tag. So the CSS code stays in a different file, but we can embed that in our HTML document.